It's not that we want to be successful for the sake of being successful. We want success because we believe we're going to feel a certain way when we achieve success. Perhaps you have felt that you're not successful, or maybe that you are successful in some places but not in other places. And that's all quite normal, I would say, assuming that you're a human. There's been many instances where I have felt and feel unsuccessful. And I'm sure we've all heard the expression, if you don't feel successful, redefine success. I mean, that's nice. But if we could just redefine success that easily and just have it redefined and have that totally embodied and be like, cool, success for me is now sitting on the couch and not doing anything, and I'm perfectly happy with that. I mean, if we could all do that and rewire ourselves like that, I think we would do that in a heartbeat, but it's not that easy. In my efforts to achieve success throughout my life, I have come to realize it's through success that I hope to feel a certain way. And so rather than using the success in order to feel the way that I want to feel, I can feel the way that I want to feel presently rather than pushing it off to the point where I have achieved said success. To give an example, I have this thing where I don't really like having small talk. I don't really like talking about the weather, and I don't like conversation just for the sake of conversation. I prefer to talk about feelings and stuff like that. There was a period of time for many, many years in my life where I would walk past people on the street and they would tell me, oh, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? And in my head, my response would be, why can't you just tell me your deepest, darkest secrets and let's just dissect them together? For me, that's what I get a kick out of a lot of the time, is like really, digging deep into existentialism and like, what are we doing here, and why do we feel the way that we feel, and is there another way we can live, and blah blah blah. And for a lot of people that's boring, and that's fine, but it's only through my resistance to other ways of being or to how other people perceive the world, this is what upset me. And to bring this back to success, for me in that scenario, success would have been to find myself surrounded by people that wanted to talk about their feelings and wanted to share on a deeper level. So that's what I would have called success, would be if I could surround myself with those people, then I would be successful. And fact of the matter is, you're not always going to be around people like that. Of course, from time to time you will be, and hopefully for a lot of the time you will be, if that's what you're into. You find your tribe and your community. But if you're in the world, you also have to accept that there's other people that share differing beliefs to you, and they don't want to talk about the same things that you want to talk about, and they have different interests and all of this. And that's all beautiful and wonderful, and that's the gift of diversity that we have. So wanting and aspiring to be surrounded by people that you want, or to be in a certain place, or to, have acquired certain things in your life is all wonderful, and that's great. And we can search for those people or take action to get to the places and achieve the things we would like. But that end goal doesn't have to be the defining factor in whether or not you are successful, because as we've mentioned, the diversity and the change of life is constant, and that is always going to be constant. So these things are always going to be changing, and it's finding success or feelings of contentment in these scenarios that we really truly achieve what it is we hope to achieve when we are successful. It's not that we want to be successful for the sake of being successful. We want success because we believe we're going to feel a certain way when we achieve success. And with my trivial example of walking on the street and talking to people and really not wanting to have small talk, what I learned was that I can't make everybody tell me all of their feelings. What I could do, though, what was totally in my control, was to be equally as enthused about talking about the weather as I am talking about other stuff. So I made a decision that rather than being annoyed at people for not talking about their feelings, or for trying to get people to talk about their feelings when clearly they weren't, offering it up to the table, I would just meet them where they were at and what they would like, which is to talk about the weather. So now if someone tells me, oh, it's a beautiful day, and I mean, obviously I'm in the same, like, we're beside each other, it's the same day, I can perceive it the same way as, it's like, it's a beautiful day, it's great, yeah, cool, I didn't need you to tell me that, but you did, and that's wonderful, and I appreciate that. At the end of the day, you're connecting with the fellow human, and that's a beautiful thing. Maybe it's not the way that I ideally would like to connect with all of the people, but it's fine. So I don't need to be so down on myself and these other people for not meeting these silly expectations that David has come up with in his head as to how the world is supposed to function and how the people are supposed to all get along. And so in finding success in each and every interaction, I no longer need to be with certain people in order to feel valued or content in my day, because I've found a way to get that from each and every interaction. And you can apply this to other scenarios in your life as well. For example, if you have a certain amount of wealth that you wish to acquire, rather than waiting until you've acquired that wealth to feel the benefits of having the wealth, you could just recognize that at this moment in time you have whatever it is that you have. Maybe you have, a fraction of that money, and it allows you to buy a coffee rather than a sports car. Then you can get your coffee and really recognize the abundance in that coffee. The fact that you can go into a place and you can interact with a barista or whatever, and they give you whatever you order, your latte, your cappuccino, and it's really wonderful. And maybe you can do that once a week on your current budget, and that's a beautiful thing. And you can find success in that interaction rather than waiting for what you perceive to be the ultimate success, which is having whatever, a car or a house or something like that. I'm reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck at the moment, which is a book by Manson. He touches on a story. One of the guitarists of Metallica was kicked out of the band just before Metallica got real big. Then he went on to start another metal band called Megadeth. So both of these bands are incredibly successful, but he's still upset because of the whole Metallica thing, even though he has probably all that he could ever have imagined pre-Metallica. It just kind of goes to show that whether it's a cup of coffee that you're wishing to acquire, or a house, or be the biggest band in the world, there's always going to be another level that you wish you could be at for that success to be felt. And in truth, you can keep going and going and going and going, but you'll never get there so long as there's a there for you to get to. So it's in recognizing the success in this here now moment, the small success, be it a coffee, be it a house, be it a hug with a friend, or just be it an interaction with some dude who wants to comment on the state of the footpaths and the dog poo that people aren't cleaning up. It's all fine. There's no reason to neglect ourselves by withholding feelings of joy and appreciation for each and everything around us until those moments that we in our minds deem to be worthy of us feeling how we want to feel, or how we would like to, ideally operate in the world. Because we're always kind of going through life, and there'll be the ups and the downs, and there'll be the struggles, and there'll be these effortless flows that we go through, and that's all great. The ebbs and the flows equally contribute to the culmination of life, and so it is. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe and like the video so that it gets pushed out to more people, and I really appreciate the support, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you.